Hello and welcome to Flory Models Friday Roundup Show. Here we are with you on the 4th of September 2020. And after you think 2020 couldn't get any weirder, stranger with, COVID and things like that, AK Interactive dropped a clanger. That's all I'm going to say. They made a very, very big mistake. And that's really what's taken up this week. And to be honest with you, me and Matt did a show about it, obviously on Wednesday. We covered it last night as well on the Thursday night live show with you guys. And I noticed today that we've had a formal apology from AK Interactive about it, saying that they've actually pulled the campaign, so forth and so on. Although I do notice the book is still for sale, strangely enough. But anyway, if you don't know about it, they released a book called Condemnation, and it's got some, shall we say, questionable dioramas of how to. And again, I think taste and decency, and I think the way that you look at how the entire modelling world were up in arms about it just shows that although I'm sure AK Interactive at some point, although I don't get where, had the right sort of thoughts and the right sort of ideas about bringing it to the forefront of some of the atrocities that's happened in the world and some of the wrongdoings in the world, and that you could use model making as an art form to show this. Again, I think they just missed it. Again, art, people often talk to me about art. Is modelling art? Absolutely. My definition of art, the same as the dictionary is, I do believe, is that something that has no purpose. And technically a model like plastic plane like we've got here, in its rawest terms, is just a bit of plastic and it has no purpose at all, but it's very nice to look at, and that's what I call art form. And don't get me wrong, I understand that art can be used to an expression, to bring things to the forefront and to publicize things, but when it comes to scale modeling, I think they just completely got it wrong. And again, speaking to a lot of you, pointing out different areas which even I haven't thought about as well, but highlighting drug abuse in modelling, I just don't understand that one. I don't think that's something. I don't need to know the techniques of how to do somebody injecting themselves. In the same way, I don't need to know how to make fingernail marks on walls inside a gas chamber, because again, I personally just don't get it. Okay, and as I say, I've spoken about it a lot. I'm not going to go on about it, so don't panic. But it was one of those things. It took up this week a lot, and I think it was just that unbelievable thing where, like I was saying, is like, how did it ever get to this stage where they started doing a campaign? But anyway, it was called Condemnation. Book apparently still available on the AK store if you want to buy it. Talk about condemnation. I think the modelling world spoke. But hopefully now it's been done, it's been dealt with. AK's clearly learnt from this, as I think a lot of people probably have, and all the rest of it, that it's okay to do it as a piece of art form, but cashing in off the back of it to sell products and books. And let's face it, AK books, although they are fantastic and they're teaching about modelling, it's also all their products all the way through. As said before, it doesn't have my products in it, it doesn't have anybody else's products in it, it's all there, so it's used as an advert. So I just don't think it was done in the best possible taste. Doing this type of thing, as said before, it's one of those things. As a piece of artwork, it's absolutely fantastic, but trying to sell off of it, I think is just a little bit wrong. But anyway, that was this week, if you like. So obviously in the UK on Monday, it was bank holiday. To be honest, I was off building fences and doing all that type of thing. But obviously on Tuesday, we were back at it, and we had actually part 4 of the Hurricane Build came up with you. And in this particular part, obviously it was all about doing the paintwork, working our way through that one, and then obviously working about the masking of it. And we were using the top-notch mask set, which looks absolutely fantastic during the actually build of this one. And again, it's one of those ones, it's flowing, absolutely fantastic. It's a beautiful little kit and making its way through. Then obviously on Tuesday as well, it was my Q&A day. So obviously all your questions, you just either message me personally or obviously email the company or whatever, which way you want to get hold of me, usual things you do. And I answer all your questions. So we had all of that. So that was up with you on there for the daily show. Okay, on Wednesday, obviously it's me and Matt's show. And as you can see, we spoke, well, for about half an hour, obviously all about it. The thing with AK, it obviously unfolded Monday night. I happened to be with the guys, we were all online. and when it happened, so we watched it unfold live. It was quite surreal. Anyway, so obviously we speak about that, but then also we talk about all the latest kit releases, everything that's going on with the PM Model store, stuff that we got coming in, stuff that's on pre-order, release dates, all the usual bits and pieces as it's going on. So if you want to catch up with that one, you can see that one. That was obviously on Wednesday. Last night, obviously, it was me and the guys. We were on with you and making our way through again. We spoke about the AK thing quite a lot, but also answering all your great questions and various things that hopefully we could help out for, and also showcasing all of your great work. So that was then. And then that brings us up to today, where, to be honest with you, throughout this week, behind the scenes, I've been working on this little guy. So just down in here, you can see we have our Hurricane. And he is pretty much done. To be honest, I've just got to do the nav lights, tiny little bit more weathering, and put the aerial line in there, and we are completed. I have to say, this is a beautiful little model. This is the Armour Hobbies one that we've been working on all this week. The final part of this will be up with you on Monday. So today's part really covers about the actual unmasking it and then going through all the different stages. So obviously doing the red around the spinner, to painting the prop, doing the gear, obviously all the decaling going on, and the first stage of the weathering. So obviously putting the weathering wash on. Obviously this just had the dark dirt weathering wash onto this one, and then to fade out and do all this lovely work on the actual camo, we've used oils, and that'll be in your final part, which will be up with you on Monday, and that is covering all of the oil weathering. It's all quite handy, it's all in one part. So from that point of view, it's how I actually faded back the brown, we faded back the green, and then obviously we did all the post shading. We used oils right the way through with this one. So again, it has turned out to be an absolute little gem. And okay, this kit does have its faults. We spoke about it obviously a lot during the build. If you watch the video build on this one, you'll see it. And like I point out, there is an issue for some reason with the male and female joins on this. So obviously if you've got a female, like a socket, and you're putting a male part into it, for some reason they don't fit. So you do have to go round and either just chop them clean off, or you actually have to come along and bore them out a little bit. So that's what I did. I've been in the reamer a little bit on this one right the way over. Apart from that, fit wise, all the other bits, this thing is an absolute gem. It is completely a beautiful little build, and it has been a lot of fun to do this one. As you might know, obviously we just came in off the back of doing the VC10, which is a massive huge heavyweight build, and some big old builds before that. We did the B17, we did the 2001 Discovery ship, we've done Millennium Falcon, yeah, we've done loads of big stuff. So to come back and do something really tiny is a little bit of fun. And I must admit, again, I've been saying it now for the last couple of years, 72nd is a joy. It literally is one of those things. If you're somebody who doesn't like going into big old builds and throwing tons of aftermarket stuff that you never see and stuff like that, honestly, have a look at the new breed, as I call them, 72nd kits. Armour Hobbies produces absolute gorgeous kits. They do need a little bit of working out, like I said before. Some of their joins don't join, but from an overall point of view and going together, it's not a problem. So things like wings, fuselage halves, they all go in. Once you get them in, it's fine. It's just some of the locating tabs don't line up, or they're just a little bit out. So again, I think there's some issues in there that need addressing, but from a modelling point of view, it's nothing that a modeller can't just nip them clean off, just drill it out a little bit wider, and then it fits no problem at all. But also with this one, it's great to showcase what you can produce, as in painting and weathering. On this one, it was a first as well, because it's the first time I'd ever used the top-notch mask set. I've never used a mask set to do camo, but this has actually turned out, as you can see, or hopefully see, absolutely beautiful. So what we've done is we've used a little bit of weathering to disguise the harder edge, to soften it out a little bit. And in its scale, I do think it's turned out really very, very nice indeed. I'm very, very happy of how it's come along. And it's one of those ones, from a mojo point of view, if you're feeling a little bit, oh, you know, I've got this big kit I'm stuck with, grab yourself something small and then you can put it together. And like I said before, if it wasn't for me, you know, with the work and company and all stuff like that, if you were building it for yourself, it's the type of thing you could put together in a weekend and come out and have a great sense of achievement and, you know, be very, very proud of it, because it has come along really nice. If you wanted to throw stuff at it, I'm sure you could actually put bits of aftermarket in this. There is photo extras available for it. There is a few bits and pieces. So again, you could go and take it to that next tier. But everybody who thinks big is better, trust me, I've worked on monsters this last year. Everything has been literally 2-3 foot wingspan, 3 foot spaceships and all the rest of it. They are big, they are unwieldy. To do something that's quite small and also fits on a cutting mat is absolutely a bit of a breath of fresh air. Anyway, part 5 of that is up with you right now. So again, members, you can go off and see that one and say the final part, which will be available to the general public as normal. That will be up with you on Monday as we make our way through. So again, has been a lot of fun, well worth having a look at it. Do not be put off by 72nd scale. It's actually really well worth having a look at some of the great kits from there. Other things that are going on at the moment, obviously in the forum, we have got, where are we? Web, there we go. We've got various things. Quick, I need to log in even. That'll help. So in the forum, we've got lots of things going on at the moment. So obviously some of the group builds have come to an end. So if we just scroll down in there, we can see. So the actual Bulge to Berlin has finished. And in a minute, I have the final reveal for that one. Congratulations to everybody who took part in that one. Some great work right the way through. So obviously the next one has started for the SIG. This is the final one of the year. Can you believe that? This year's gone already. So this is the final 4-month SIG, and this is actually called Shelf of Doom. This is technically a carry-on really from the COVID one. So it's like a dog of a kit. So it's technically Shelf of Doom, crap kits and all the rest of it that is really, perhaps you've had a kit in your stash and you really just not looking forward ever to doing it, and you need a little bit of a nudge just to push you on to get on with it. This is the actual SIG for you, okay? And we have got some very interesting stuff in there already. I think we've got something like 11 builds already started, and again, there's some really very shake your head at ones, but it would be well worth doing it at the end of the day. So if you ever got a kit that's a bit of a shelf queen, has been gathering dust and all the rest of it, dust her off, get her out. That's get them finished, and that's put a line then under 2020 as God, I wish it had never happened. Okay, but this is a good one then because you can finish off. So then 2021 be a new year, be a great year for modelling. Got lots of big things planned for Flory models and with PM models as well. So again, you can draw a line and fresh into it. That's the plan for this one. The current group build that's going on at the moment is the action movie group build. Loads of great stuff going in there. I think we've got something like 150 entries. We have got 150 in there at the moment. We've got almost 40 completed. I'm planning on doing a few things with that one, as we know. I've got a couple of bits of sci-fi that I'm going to be working on throughout the run up to Christmas as well. So you've got really the entire of the year to get that group build finished off and done and dusted. And then obviously you've got your Shelf of Doom SIG that's just started. So you've got 4 months left on that one to push through as you make your way through on that. And that technically is this week. A very, very surreal week in so many ways. Again, personally as well, we had an incident very, very close to my home, which was terrible, tragic. So again, that was a little bit of a thing. And then that was on Tuesday morning, and then Tuesday night, this happened with AK this week. Loads of stuff going back and forth, but hopefully now we can get back to what we all do best, and that's do a great bit of modelling. So, as always on a Friday, I normally leave you with your great work, but what I'm going to do this week is going to leave you for the final reveals from the actual Bulge to Berlin SIG that finished obviously last month. Great work by everybody as normal. So, until Monday, everybody, happy modelling. Take care.